Government to scrap mega projects costing billions of ringgit. Sales and services tax to be reintroduced in September. Hello and good evening. I'm Mohana Priya. Welcome to News on 2. The Pakatan Harapan-led government will fulfill the promises it had made into its manifesto within the first 100 days since coming into power. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, however, reiterated that the matter, which depends on national financial situation, will be closely reviewed so as not to jeopardize the country's administration. In a press conference after chairing the second cabinet meeting in Putrajaya, Tun Dr. Mahathir also pointed out that within a week following the first cabinet meeting, the ministers have detected numerous problems left behind by the previous government.
Keadaannya lebih teruk daripada jangkaan mereka kita semasa kita menyiapkan manifesto. Sebab itu janji-janji ini akan ditunaikan, tetapi dia perlu ambil kira keadaan kewangan dan juga perlu menentukan supaya dia tidak menjejaskan pentadbiran negara.
Meanwhile, he said the government will also make an announcement regarding a 50% discount in toll rates at all highways 2 days before Aidilfitri. The government is committed to reducing the country's borrowings by shelving mega projects costing billions of ringgit, such as the Kuala Lumpur-Singapore High-Speed Rail or HSR and the MRT Line 3 projects. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the projects would cost too much money if they were to proceed, as the country's borrowings were already high.
Most important thing for us now is to reduce the amount of borrowings by the government. We have borrowed too much money and we cannot pay so much money if we continue with the project. So we are not only looking at HSR, but also other mega projects which cost us billions of dollars. If this country is to avoid bankruptcy, we must learn how to manage our big debts.
Tun Dr. Mahathir said although the cabinet has decided to cancel the HSR project, considering its high financial implications, the matter is subject to discussion with the Singapore government. In addition, he said a special briefing session on measures to be taken by the Finance Ministry to control costs of the country's administration would be held tomorrow. Meanwhile, Tun Dr. Mahathir also announced that the government is to establish a Tabung Harapan Malaysia Fund to accept donations from the people to help strengthen its financial position. He said the fund was necessary to ensure that the donations from patriotic Malaysians would reach the Ministry of Finance.
Terdapat ramai rakyat yang apabila diketahui bahawa kedudukan keuangan negara sudah menjadi begitu buruk, mereka sanggup untuk memberi derma kepada kerajaan. Kita mengalu-alukan sikap patriotik mereka ini dan kita berucap terima kasih kepada mereka.
In a related development, Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng has given his assurance that the Tabung Harapan Malaysia will be managed systematically and transparently by the Finance Ministry. In a statement today, Lim added that only donations in ringgit will be accepted. Tabung Harapan Malaysia contributions can be deposited into Maybank account number as displayed on the screen. Lim also expressed appreciation and gratitude on behalf of the government to all Malaysians for their support, concern and willingness to help to address the current economic situation. Last week, Lim had said that the country's debt was now 1 trillion ringgit, higher than the figure announced by the previous administration. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has announced a special payment of 400 ringgit for civil servants in grade 41 and below and a 200 ringgit special payment for government pensioners.
Kita juga telah memperkukuhkan kedudukan keuangan kerajaan, dan di antaranya ialah pemberian bantuan khas sebanyak RM400 untuk penjawat awam grade 41 dan ke bawah. Bantuan sebanyak RM200 untuk pesara kerajaan.
According to the Prime Minister, the payments will be made on June 6th. He also announced a cost of living allowance or COLA in place of the One Malaysia People's Aid or BRIM that was given by the previous government. The Congress of Unions of Employees in the Public and Civil Services, QPEX, has appealed to the government to delay the termination of non-political contract staff in the civil service. Its President, Dato' Aziz Muda, said QPEX is appealing to the government to consider extending the contract service for those not holding political posts for another 3 to 6 months so that they can plan for their financial needs.
Saya amat yakin bahawa kerajaan memang melakukan perkara yang seadil yang boleh untuk apa-apa keputusan pun. Tapi dalam hal yang begini kita minta supaya lebih anjal sedikit. Sekurang-kurangnya lepas raya.
Recently, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad announced that the government would abolish several government agencies which were deemed political or non-essential. These included the National Civics Bureau, BTN, National Council of Professors, and the Special Affairs Department, or JASA. On May 16th, Tun Dr. Mahathir said some 17,000 civil servants who are political appointees would be axed in a bid to reduce government spending. A special committee will be formed to evaluate the role of the Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, or JAKIM. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the group will include religious scholars and non-religious experts to discuss the department's position.
Kita akan ada satu kumpulan ulama-ulama dan orang yang berpengetahuan dalam bidang agama dan juga orang yang tidak ada pengetahuan untuk membincang peranan JAKIM dalam negara kita. Sama ada JAKIM akan dikekalkan seperti sekarang ataupun tujuan asalnya akan dihidupkan semula, dan kita akan menentukan supaya di negara ini Islam tidak digambarkan sebagai satu agama yang zalim, yang keras dan tidak bertimbang rasa.
Meanwhile, commenting on the controversy surrounding Hindraf 2.0's alleged demands, calling for, among others, to open UiTM entry to all races, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the matter was not discussed in the cabinet meeting today. Regarding the proposal to abolish the National Civics Bureau, or Biro Tata Negara, BTN, the Prime Minister said the government will review the role of the department. The Permata Negara Early Education Program, under the patronage of Datin Sri Rosmah Mansor, wife of former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak, will now be under the purview of the Ministry of Education. According to Education Minister Dr. Mazli Malik, his ministry will now set up a mechanism and steps to implement the program moving forward.
Setakat ini kita lihat program Permata banyak positif, banyak impak-impak positif. Dan seperti mana komitmen Pakatan Harapan, apa yang baik daripada yang dilakukan sebelum ini kita akan teruskan. Terutamanya jikalau ianya memberikan impak kepada pembangunan negara dan juga pembangunan modal insan.
Dr. Mazli explained that the Permata program was originally placed under the Ministry of Education before it was transferred to the Prime Minister's department indefinitely. At the same time, there were several Permata centres placed under tertiary institutions such as University Kebangsaan Malaysia, UKM. The Defence Ministry has clarified today that its Minister Mohamed Sabu had flown to Pulau Pinang last Saturday in a Royal Malaysian Air Force aircraft to attend an official annual program of the Royal Malaysian Air Force. According to RMAF Chief General Tan Sri Afendi Buang, Mohamed Sabu had flown in the A400M military transport aircraft along with Malaysian Armed Forces senior officers to attend a breaking of the fast, as well as the new Defence Minister's first meeting with RMAF personnel at the RMAF Butterworth Air Base in Pulau Pinang. Speaking to the media at RMAF Air Force Base in Subang, Selangor, General Tan Sri Afendi noted that the use of the military aircraft enabled the ministry to save transportation costs as compared to the use of a commercial flight for the purpose. He added that the minister's presence of the A400M aircraft enabled him to get exposure as to the capability, performance, credibility and ability of the aircraft to undertake military operations, as well as maintain the Malaysian Armed Forces or MAF level of alertness.
Kehadiran Menteri Pertahanan mengikuti penerbangan dengan pesawat A400M juga bertujuan memberi pendedahan berkenaan keupayaan, prestasi, kredibiliti dan kemampuan pesawat A400M.
Last Monday, lawyer Abu Bakar Siddiq Mohamed Zan had lodged a report with the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) alleging that Mohamed Sabu had misused a military asset on a visit to Butterworth. The new Sales and Services Tax (SST) will come into effect on September 1st this year after the Goods and Services Tax (GST) goes zero-rated on June 1st. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the price of goods should go down by at least 6% once the zero-rated GST system kicks in.
Agak turun. Sebabnya kerana savings ini bukan cakap 6%. Actually is sometimes GST payment comes up to about 18% because of the different tiers. At the end, when the consumer buys, he buys at a higher price. Jadi saya expect the traders, the retailers, especially to sell their goods at a much lower price, certainly less than 6% less.
The Prime Minister, however, did not reveal the new SST rate. He further noted that the government has also agreed to implement a price control scheme for the Hari Raya Aidilfitri period. Now, the Pahang Domestic Trade Cooperatives and Consumerism (KPD and KK) Ministry today inspected 349 premises in an operation codenamed Ops Chatut 4.0 to ensure that traders adhere to the implementation of the 0% GST beginning June 1st. Based on the result of the operation, its Chief Enforcement Officer Alwi Abdul Hamid said the ministry found that prices of goods remain under control and added that follow-up checks will be held starting this Friday. Alwi had earlier led a Ramadan special price operation team which involved 40 state KPD and KK officers and personnel at the Pasar Besar Kuantan. The results of the inspection showed that all the prices of wet items such as local beef, lamb, mackerel and chicken were still under control.
Didapati barang tiada kenaikan. Ya, dari segi daging dia masih jual RM30. Ayam RM8.5, sebelum ni ada RM9, jadi nampak penurunan harga. Dari segi ikan pun kita tengok ikan kembung masih lagi dengan harga yang sama. Harga sama, sayur-sayur pun tidak ada kenaikan harga.
Alwi also said that the ministry has not received any report on the increase of price at all Ramadan bazaars. Any drop in the local stock market will present buying opportunities for Permodalan Nasional Berhad (PNB) as fund managers. Its chairman Tan Sri Abdul Wahid Omar said Bursa Malaysia's recent sluggish performance had opened up buying opportunities for PNB.
PNB.com.my portal. So
Tan Sri Abdul Wahid said, in general, volatility in the emerging markets can be expected, not just in Malaysia, as currently there is a huge pullback of funds away from these markets back to more developed markets, such as the United States.
Thank you. From our perspective as fund manager, we do expect the volatility to continue. But of course, from our perspective, we tend to get the long-term investment strategy. So any drop in market will always present buying opportunity for us as fund managers.
The FBM KLCI started its decline since May 23rd, shedding 2.2% or 40.78 points amid foreign funds outflow. Earlier, Tan Sri Wahid and Hong Leong Islamic Bank Berhad Chairman Datuk Mat Hamzah Mat Kasim officiated the appointment of Hong Leong Bank Berhad and HLISB as the latest authorised agents of Amanah Saham Nasional Berhad unit trusts. Effective June 1st, both HLB and HLISB will start offering all 12 ASNB funds comprising 6 fixed price funds and 6 variable priced funds. Tan Sri Wahid also said PNB will continue to deliver on its dividend targets based on its strategic asset allocations and dividend target. An attempt to smuggle over 100 kilograms of ketum leaves via the sea route to a neighbouring country went awry when a marine police team found the contraband substance while inspecting a jetty in Kampung Pulau Ketam, Kuala Perlis at 4:30 a.m. today. According to Langkawi District Marine Police Commanding Officer DSP Rohizan Mohammad Said, the team, who were acting on a tip-off from the public, found 5 black plastic bags filled with packed green plants suspected to be ketum leaves. DSP Rohizan added that the police were unable to identify the owner of the ketum leaves despite laying in wait for over 2 hours. They then handed over the contraband material to the Kanga Police Headquarters Narcotics Criminal Investigation Unit, NCID, for further action. Previously, it had been reported that countries like Thailand and the United States were among the biggest importers of ketum leaves from Malaysia. A female Sabahan tourist believed to have fallen while climbing the Mulu pinnacles has been rescued. The Miri Fire and Rescue Department Chief Lau Po Kiong said the department's air wing unit was deployed to rescue Tan Fung Chu, 35. Law said the search and rescue team located Tan around 8:30 a.m. and winched her onto the helicopter before transporting her to Miri Hospital in Sarawak. Law said the team was dispatched after Miri Fire and Rescue Department received an alert from the Mulu National Park management that a tourist had fallen at Mulu Pinnacles Summit Camp 3. Tan was said to have sustained backbone injuries in the incident on Tuesday evening. Ground personnel from the Mulu National Park tried to help her, but she could not move due to her injuries. They then sought the help of Miri Fire and Rescue Department. A septuagenarian woman and her grandson were burnt to death, while another family member was injured in a fire that razed 4 houses in Kampung Baru, Cina Repas, Bentong, Pahang early this morning. Pahang Fire and Rescue Department Deputy Director Muhammad Sani Harun said Lei Sam Q, 78, and her disabled grandson, Chong Wei Leong, 23, were trapped in the house. He said the injured victim was identified as Chong Tien Sang, 56. Mohammad Sani said the department received a distress call at 1:22 a.m. and 25 firemen in 3 engines were rushed to the scene. The fire was brought under control about 2:30 a.m. He also noted that 4 houses were 100% destroyed, 1 house was about 20% destroyed, and 4 more about 5% destroyed. It is believed that the houses were too close to one another, which caused the fire to spread fast. Mohammad Sani also said the remains of the woman and her grandson were sent to the Bentong Hospital, while the injured victim sought treatment at the Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Hospital in Temerloh, Pahang. He further noted that the cause of the fire and damage had yet to be ascertained. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said Malaysia regrets having to end the search for flight MH370, but nevertheless will consider resuming the hunt if any viable information emerges.
there comes a time when we have to stop it, because we have done a very big research program all over the world, and we have not found any evidence yet. So we have to come to a stage where we cannot keep on searching for something that we really cannot find. If anybody has any information, we will consider resuming the search. But at the moment, we have to put a stop to the search.
Malaysia had signed a no-cure, no-fee deal with US technology company Ocean Infinity to resume the search in January, a year after the official search by Australia, Malaysia and China was called off. The final search effort, focusing on the seabed in the distant Indian Ocean, ended yesterday after more than 3 months. So selected matches of the upcoming FIFA World Cup 2018 will be aired live for free over Radio Television Malaysia RTM starting June 14th. When met by reporters in Perdana Putra, Communications and Multimedia Minister Gobind Singh Deo said the matter was approved at today's cabinet meeting. Based on free-to-air or FTA broadcasting rights, RTM is likely to buy only the FTA rights, which is only for selected free matches from M-League Marketing. On Monday, Gobind said the ministry had backed the proposal for RTM to air 2018 World Cup matches live for free, adding that it is an important move for RTM to transform itself and boost viewership.
Besok pagi kita akan adakan satu sidang akhbar oleh Menteri Kewangan, dan isu-isu itu akan berbangkitlah. Tapi setakat hari ini permintaan daripada pres sama ada ataupun tidak perkara World Cup dibincangkan dalam kabinet. Jawapan ya, kita ada bincangkan soal berkenaan dengan keputusan. Ya, memang kabinet bersetuju bahawa tahun ini Piala Dunia akan disiarkan live melalui RTM 1. Butir-butir dia kita akan umumkan esok.
32 nations will battle it out to become the world champions in the World Cup held in Russia from June 14th to July 15th. And that concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story today, government to scrap mega projects costing billions of ringgit. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Mohana Priya. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a great evening.